Hello and welcome, and thanks so much for tuning in. We are so pleased that you have, because I truly believe that by listening to this, you will be ahead of your competition. So let's do some really quick intros up first. My name is Natasha Hawker from Employee Matters, an employee relations company, and I'm an employee expert. I specialize in helping small to medium businesses create exceptional business performance through their employees. Think employee relations, policies, recruitment, and terminations. We are super busy at the moment as business resets for the new world of work. And today we're going to specifically be talking about the new COVID world of work and how to manage your employees. But before we get started, super quick disclaimer, the information I'm sharing is general in nature and related to the field of HR, and it doesn't constitute specific legal advice. So it is my belief that every business needs to build employee assets, and that your employees are your greatest asset and also potentially greatest liability, and should be treated as such. And if you take nothing else from this presentation, this is it. So my first question to you is, do you have a team of employee assets or liabilities? Because if it is liabilities, you will struggle to survive, let alone thrive in the new COVID world of work. So we recently did some research conducted on the new COVID world of work and how this is going to impact employees and the workplace. And here are a really quick snapshot of our findings. 2020, no surprises here, is going to have long-lasting repercussions that will continue to impact business well into 2021 and beyond. And specifically around COVID in terms of how much or how well we're able to manage this as a country and as a state, and how we manage making COVID normal workplaces. And one of the first questions many businesses are going to need to ask themselves is, can you force someone to get vaccinated? Unemployment rates, how quickly can we get people rehired, or how long are people out of work? For example, I think there are many companies at the moment, from what I'm seeing, are on massive recruitment drives, coupled with other industries and areas, particularly middle managers, where I fear they may be unemployed for some time. Border closures have a massive, significant impact on business. And how quickly will our economy improve? And then the continuing challenges of social injustice. Just think Collingwood Football Club and Eddie Maguire's recent comments. So when we looked at this, some surprising results, which I think is really important for all business owners and managers to be thinking about as they manage their teams. 80% of employees believe that COVID will continue to disrupt their work. 92% of employees trust their employers as a source of accurate information and expect them to be up to date with the advice. But this one really threw me. A third of Aussies are not sure that their employer is going to make it financially. So every business owner and manager needs to keep these feelings in mind as they navigate the workplace and more importantly, the management of their employees. So what actions are you going to need to take? This one really surprised me as well. 35%, even in the uncertainty of the market, of employees are planning on looking for a new job. So beware, don't become complacent, expecting employees to hang about. COVID has also meant that many people are totally rethinking their goals, their life goals. Are they really happy? Is this what they really want from life? And interestingly, Defence Force applications have skyrocketed by 42%. So where are you in the COVID world of work? So we're seeing basically businesses end up in at least one of four zones. The first zone is the red zone, where clients feel that they're trapped beyond help. Their revenue has literally fallen off a cliff. They are totally gutted, and many of these businesses have actually folded. The second zone is what we call the orange zone, where businesses are showing up, but they're still very scared, very unsure about their future. Revenue has taken a dive here too, and they're being resuscitated by JobKeeper. There are many businesses in this zone that are essentially trading insolvent on JobKeeper, and they're devastated too, and they're not sure what to do. And JobKeeper ends at the end of March. The next zone we have is the green zone, where businesses are feeling battle scarred. They're still standing, they've managed to pivot their business, and revenues are either steady or they've taken a slight decline, but it's manageable for now. But they're still unsure at this stage. They don't know what the future holds. And so we have them appearing as neutral. Then we have the blue zone, businesses who are absolutely killing it with revenues that are absolutely skyrocketing. And even better, often they're doing better than they've done before. But there's a sense of guilt in these businesses. So I suppose my question to you is, where are you now? Which zone are you in? If you're in the red or the orange zone, you're possibly going to need to restructure your business and make a couple of roles redundant. These may even be people who are currently on JobKeeper, but proactive action here could mean the difference between survival and the failure of your business. If you're sitting in that green zone there, you're still going to need to be hypersensitive. The market is changing rapidly. I recorded this video or a similar video in November, and it already needs to be recorded again. So you might be needing to reduce headcount, ensuring your team can be fully productive from home. And if you're lucky enough to be in the blue zone, you may need even to be recruiting. But remember, even with job security, your employees may be struggling with their mental health, under pressures of working from home, financial concerns in the family, or homeschooling. So I think the question here is, do you have a COVID employee strategy, implementation strategy as yet? Because everything has changed and you need to change too. So I wanted to share with you the 5 key themes that I'm seeing as a result of the changes that COVID's brought about. Number 1, JobKeeper. Are you ready for the end of it? And what will this do to your cash flow? Number 2, I personally believe this is that the biggest tests for businesses are yet to come. With ongoing lockdowns and JobKeeper coming to an end, businesses will need to make some difficult decisions to ensure their survival, which might include restructures. But beware, if you do need to let some team members go, make sure you follow your legal obligations, as unfair dismissal claims are up 70%. An employee can just pay $74.50 and potentially get up to 6 months salary payment from you. I can tell you that life in the workplace is not going back to the way we used to know it, not ever again. At best, it'll be a hybrid with many employees working from home permanently. But working from home does require a different management skill for both your employees and their managers, and a different mindset. And I think businesses have managed to adapt to that very quickly. But when you start to do working from home long term, you need to make some changes. And people are moving to the country in a way we've never seen before. Get ready for it. Australians and Australian businesses are on the move. This area is, I think, going to be the most time consuming for you. We used to manage all of our employees in the same way. You know, everyone was on the same contract, mostly permanent part-time workers with a couple of part-timers, mostly permanent full-time with a couple of part-timers thrown in for good measure. But I think that this is about to happen. Let me talk you through this. Fred can't wait to get back to the office. Mark wants to work from home 4 days a week. Mia is suffering from mental health issues due to stress, COVID lockdown, and homeschooling. Amy is the victim of domestic and family violence and is not performing in her role. Andrew doesn't want to return to the office because he's fearful of COVID, even though you've told him it's safe. Karen wants to move to the country and continue working for you. David no longer wants to be promoted as he's enjoyed the time at home with his kids and he can't see a promotion allowing him to do that anymore. Michelle has decided that she would like to do her current role in an 8 or 9 day fortnight with no change to salary. I can hear the collective, what? So my question to you is, do you have the employee relations knowledge to navigate these tricky conversations? And they're very time consuming, and make sure you document them because all of these scenarios are potentially coming your way simultaneously. And the last one I wanted to discuss here is that if you've ever dealt with a team member with a mental health issue in your workplace, and when I ask clients that, they often have one of 3 responses: maybe, but I wasn't sure, they just resigned and went away; yes, but we did not manage it well; or lastly, I suspect that there were mental health issues, but we performance managed them out of the business. You can't do that. So this may shock you, but you might be dealing with 20 to 50% of your workforce with varying degrees of mental health issues. And I wonder whether you and your managers have the skills and resources to deal with this. And I suspect the answer is no. So I'm going to go through this model really quickly. This is how we build employee assets for our client. At the center of everything that we do, it's building a business where your employees treasure your business as much as you do, and also they're your greatest treasure. And when you get that, you get these 3 outcomes: profit, growth, and sustainability. But in order to get those, to build that treasure, you need 3 key inputs, which is having a great culture, building a high performance business, and having good risk management. So what we've done is come up with 3 key accelerators to build performance culture and risk management. And they are, we need to hire the best employees that we can afford. We need to manage them to optimize their performance. And we need to measure our return on investment. Are we getting the ROI that we require? Under culture, you need to train them to optimize their business performance in their roles, but also appropriate workplace behavior training. Understanding mental health would be a good thing to add in there. And you need to build an engaged workforce. Do your employees have that discretionary effort for you and your business? And last of all here, well-being, and I've dropped the G off there, but this is the big place, and I see a lot happening here around mental health and domestic and family violence and your obligations there. And then lastly, under risk management, you need to assess your business to make sure it's compliant with its obligation. You need to have the right policies in place. And then you need to exit your people who resign successfully and maybe get them back, but also your non-performers. So I wonder how well these are being done for you in your business right now. And what I recommend you do is just highlight these 9 steps: traffic light, red, orange, or green. And people often ask why we use the term accelerators for those 9 steps. And it's basically because this is how we quickly build employee assets for our clients. So I am sure that this has raised some questions for you. And if that's the case, by all means, reach out to us today. We're happy to help. We can book a complimentary discovery session. And then the last thing I'd like to leave you with is I truly believe that the secret to building an exceptional business is your team. Remember, though, a pandemic does not absolve you from your employer obligations, and fair work will be even tougher on you. You can find me at www.employeematters.com.au or on social media, or call us on 02 8021 4206. My name's Natasha Hawker, and remember, your employees really do matter. Stay well and take care.